Today we will be one step closer to finishing all the Far Cry games. Today we're platinuming Far Cry 5, which has 51 total trophies in order to get the platinum. We start the game deciding if we want our character to be male or female, and I picked the base choice. The first cutscene shows the main antagonist of this game, Joseph Seed, who also just so happens to be a cult leader that lives in Montana. And bro's got some clout, cause they even made a statue for him, which is kinda wild. But regardless, we fly into his camp with a warrant. When we go to confront him about it, he just basically tells us that God won't let it happen. He was right about getting out, cause his members did some crazy shit to save him. After the crash landing, Joseph gets out of the helicopter and has his members set it on fire. We then run away from people shooting at us, just like every other Far Cry game. And eventually we meet back up with our buddy. We make our escape plan. I get this trophy for killing 25 enemies while leaning out of a vehicle, but we end up crashing. We wake up to this guy taking us in. Lucky for us, he's a civilian and not a cult member, so he's gonna take us in and show us the ropes. We start by liberating an outpost.
Why?
Saving some civilians and turning on a bell tower. And for doing this, we're rewarded by being able to see the map. We then get our second trophy for completing the game intro. We then meet our first victim of this story, John Seed, Joseph's brother. But our first mode of business is completing this outpost, and we also get a trophy pop for doing this because we did it with a friend. Yeah, I have those. A few minutes later, I got this trophy for killing 25 enemies with close combat. And let's just say John was not too happy about this. We end up getting marked, which is the game's way of telling us we need a cutscene to progress further. You'll see this happen a few times. We end up waking up to John baptizing us. Him and his brother Joseph having this weird little moment, but it's all good because we end up escaping.
Bye, have a great time.
After escaping, we then go to save some hostages and run into this bear. But it's all good because we take care of it and help these hostages, and then we get a trophy pop for doing 3 side quests. But John doesn't believe in helping people, so he brings us down to his lair to torture us. He then runs off with our deputy, and we get this trophy pop for completing this story mission. I then found his secret stash, stole all his stuff, and then got a trophy for completing 3 treasure hunts. I then found this patriot. He basically needed help getting his plane back, so I decided to liberate this outpost because it was right where his plane was anyways, and my efforts were rewarded because I got this trophy for liberating 5 outposts. We ended up finding his plane, taking it back to him, and then fighting off the enemies at his house. There was then this really long cutscene of these guys arguing about where they were going to have their kid and if they were going to leave or not, but I guess it's fine because they gave me a trophy for it. I got this trophy for maxing out the meter of how pissed John was at us so that we could finally fight him. We then go to meet John. John then tries to force convert us, but luckily for us, the pastor always keeps a strap on him. We then finally catch up with him, but I wasn't satisfied with how they killed him in the cutscene, so I took matters in my own hands. We end up saving the deputy, blowing up John's compound, and getting a trophy. I then did the most patriotic thing ever and bought this eagle mask and got a trophy for spending $1,000 in the store. And after killing one of Joseph's brothers, I decided it was time to go get the other one. Shortly after entering his area, he kidnaps us and starts brainwashing us. He then opens up this box, and every time he does this, it basically sends us into a killing spree. This is the killing spree that happens, and he ends up doing it to us quite a few times. When we wake up, we're around a bunch of dead bodies, but luckily this guy's here to save us. And we get a trophy. I then went to take a quick break and have a rock fight with my friend. But then I got shot.
My leg! My leg!
And who else could it be but everyone's favorite cult leader? He basically ends up telling us a story about how he killed his own kid.
Now, I'm really mad.
I got so mad that it ended up putting me back into this killing rage. And when I wake up, I'm around a bunch of dead bodies again. I then failed a mission because Herc blew himself up, but it's okay, we didn't hold too much of a grudge against him. Jacob then shows us the box and sends us into a rage again, and we end up getting let free by our deputy. I got this trophy for using a wingsuit for 5,000 meters, and this trophy for doing a stunt in every region. But it turns out Jacob's also a hater on stunts, so he ends up locking us up and showing us the box. And, well, you get where this is going by now. But this time at the end, he brainwashes us into shooting our friend. We end up having to climb a mountain, but we eventually get up to him and kill him. We then end up saving the deputy, blowing up his compound, and getting a trophy. And after killing Joseph's 2 brothers, all that's left is his sister. As soon as we get there, we quickly learn that his sister's superpower is just making you trip balls, which was super annoying when I had to kill specific animals because they just kept changing into something else. I blew up Joseph's statue, took their drug out of the water supply and got a trophy for it. Joseph confronts us that we've been doing bad stuff, and then we also get a trophy for that. We end up getting a trophy for saving a cougar and the animal, no, not the one on the screen. We then enter the Bliss World with the Marshal and manage to get him out.
You tripping, bro. You tripping.
And we get a trophy for it. As I was finishing up this region, I got this trophy pop for destroying something in every region. And this random trophy for talking to 50 citizens. We then end up fighting Faith, and then we get this weird death scene, I guess if you want to call it that. She kind of just passes out in the water. And then after that, we blow up her compound, and then we get a trophy. Is anyone starting to notice a trend here? After all the siblings were out of the way, it was finally time to confront the main man himself, Joseph. He gives us an option to walk away, but of course I don't do that. We end up beating his ass, and then finally capturing him, but then he ends up dropping a fucking nuke.
Oh, these aren't homemade. They were made in a factory. A bomb factory. They're bombs.
We get a trophy for making it to the end of the game, and we also get this cutscene where we're captured by Joseph, and it basically alludes that he's going to restart his cult, and that he's going to start it with us together. And that's the end of the story, so now it's time for everyone's favorite part, cleanup. We get a trophy for helping this couple by driving them so they can get their baby delivered. We end up helping this dude gather some parts so he can try and teleport, but it ends up working, so I guess I can't be a hater. I picked up a baseball card and this barrel, and got this trophy for getting one of every collectible type. I got this trophy for having Herc blow up 15 different vehicles. This trophy for beating this bison with a bat.
Beat him up! Beat him up!
We then had to go around collecting a bunch of different types of fish, so enjoy this fishing montage. I then got the trophy linked to that challenge. I got this trophy for getting all attachments on a weapon. Luckily, I had all the fish from the montage, so I sold them for this trophy. And then with all the fish money, I ended up using it to buy 3 different vehicles for my garage to get this trophy. I got this trophy for sniping an enemy more than 150 meters away. this trophy for destroying 10 planes. This trophy for killing a bull with my bare hands. I got this trophy for killing 5 enemies with a tractor, and since it would just be easier, I continued to use it and got this trophy for running over 20 enemies. I suicide bombed myself so I could get this trophy for killing 4 enemy vehicles at once.
Oh my god!
I accidentally got this trophy for distracting 15 enemies with rocks. I then had to go on a hunting montage. And got a trophy for that. A trophy for buying half of the perks. A trophy for crafting 25 recipes. After killing a lot of animals, we got enough money for this trophy to spend $50,000 in vehicle shops. And I got the last story trophy by killing 5 enemies with sabotaged vehicles.
Got him!
Now for the online section, I got this trophy for completing 10 featured maps. For the next trophy, I had to play Arcade Hero 5 times, and the 5 maps we got were this map where we just mowed down a bunch of enemies with the turret, this map which was like a weird zombie type of map, Nuketown Zombies, that was fun, this random jungle map, and then this driving map. I then continuously chucked a shovel at my friend until I managed to get 100 kills. And with the same strategy, I won 10 featured maps. I then got the last trophy of the video by hitting level 20 in arcade mode, and then we got the platinum trophy pop. Overall, this game was alright. Could have been better, could have been worse, but I had fun with it. If you guys did enjoy this platinum run though, please leave a like and subscribe, and as always,